What is an epoch in Bitcoin? Nyajong, wherever you are in the world today, welcome. Today I wanted to talk about Bitcoin epochs. What is a Bitcoin epoch? In simple terms, Bitcoin epoch is just the price history between each Bitcoin halving. Let's take a look at this chart so I can better explain. So Epoch 1 happened between the Genesis block and the first halving. Epoch 2 happened between the first epoch, no, I'm sorry, the first halving and the second halving. Epoch 3 happened between the second halving and the third halving. And Epoch 4 happened between the third halving and the fourth halving. Now, as you look at this chart, Bitcoin's graph is always upward moving, meaning that its price is always has been climbing if you look out far enough, right? It's been climbing since its inception in 2009. But one thing I wanted to point out in this graph or in this video about epochs is that each epoch is increasing by tenfolds, right? So let me give you an example. So here in this first epoch, it's in general, you could think of it was in the $10 range, right? In this epoch two, in general, you could think of it as in the $100 range. Yes, it went up to 1,000, it came back down, but most of the time it was in the 100 range. And then epoch three, it was mostly in the $1,000 range, right? And epoch four, it was in the $10,000 range here. And then if you kind of look at this chart and saying that, okay, well, in the past, it's moving by uh, 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 10 times, right? You can kind of predict and say, well, in epoch five, which is what we're currently in, it can reach $100,000, which is already really close to it already, right? Another way that I look at this is that each epoch, Bitcoin adds a zero to the Bitcoin price. So for example, here it reached around $10. You add another zero to that. In this epoch here, it became $100. And then in this epoch three here, you add another zero and that became $1,000. In epoch four, you add another zero and it becomes $10,000. So why is this important? This is important because it allows you or me to think about Bitcoin's price in the future. Is it possible that in epoch five, which is we are right now, that it's going to add another zero, which equals that Bitcoin's going to spend its time in the $100,000 range? It's very possible. And I'm not the only one who's saying it. Many people are saying it. So as always, I encourage everyone to figure out how you can become rich in Bitcoin. Hopefully, in your journey to becoming rich, you can figure out the true value of Bitcoin and bring that value back into our community. As always, thanks for stopping by. And everything I say here is just my opinion only, and it's not financial advice. 用这赔了，上的多的股，被么他，心机多。